Hey folks, I'm CPC Gamer. I love coming into this sting, by the way. Sortie is a great piece of music. Yeah, Tempest, I'm a little nervous because it's final boss day, and, my experience with the final bosses in Breath of Fire games is limited to Breath of Fire 4, but, like, that takes a minute, and it's a really tough fight. And I imagine that is how this is going to go. So, well, grinding has happened. Alright, I am coming prepared to this fight. Let's just tab over to the game. Tab over to the game like it's Windows. I mean, change the scene. Anyways. Yeah, so grinding has happened. And my characters are a lot tougher than they were. In fact, look at Nina. She's all muscly. What a glow up. I definitely didn't just replace her with Garp because he's way better. So here's the thing. I was talking with Tempest and Quickdraw and some of the people in his community. When I mentioned that I wanted to include Nina in my final 3, their reaction was like, I mean, if you want to, you can. And I realized that Gar at his worst is better than Nina at her best. So he's part of the squad now. I think we all know by now that whenever she runs off like that, it always means trouble. Oh, that's not the right button. Yeah, that's the button. Ooh, I was a little worried that was gonna be combat. That is a lot of levels. I hope it's enough. Wait, you can do that? Get out of here, honey can do that. That's like Ryu's magical eyeball. You're an amazing machine. Do you know that, honey? Attention. Navigator code for highest level functions accepted. Access to library mode granted. Oh, there is combat down here. Alright. I was a little worried, like the big exclamation marks. I was worried that was going to be get ready to fight and get killed. So, yeah, leveling happened, and it was... So I reached a decision, and that decision was, do I want to put in a lot of time, essentially doing nothing but this, grinding out over the next week, and like replace this stream with Fearmonium or something. But, dear God, look at how much experience Gar needs. That is a big number. That's a very big number. And then I realized, oh yeah, I'm playing on original hardware, and I have an exploder, so I can just poke a couple of hex values to FFFF. I'm programming, and I got my levels in like a couple of fights instead of a couple of weeks. I didn't like tweak any statistics or anything. That's what the numbers would have been if I had put the time in. I just didn't. Look at this Daft Punk music video. I like it. Welcome. We serve the almighty goddess. Before you meet with the Holy Miria, please hear our words. The Holy Miria awaits you ahead. Before the coming of Miria, the world was dying. The wounded earth was being covered by sand. Sand! And the very life was being sucked out of its inhabitants. The grieving Miria used all her divine power to divide the world into two halves. One half being where you are now, the desert of death, and the other the world you came from, overflowing with life. I maybe would not have shown Junkertown when talking about how lively the world is. There's that fish, though. Hey, what's up? The two worlds are separated by the vast and violent ocean you call the Outer Sea. I suppose it makes sense if we're doing that. Which protects your world from the desert. The majority of life that escaped death was taken, like yourselves, to the other world. It is Miria's desire to protect life, to protect your world. Even a monster's life is sacred to Miria. Oh no. I've killed a lot of those. Oh no. I hope she's not mad at me. In order to protect the life she so loved, Miria instituted many forms of safeguards and controls. Foremost among these is the control of technology. So if nobody knows where this stuff comes from, is that just Miria plonking it down? Here's your sugar packets, you little goblins. Miria makes certain that no dangerous machines, like weapons, are developed. Momo has a gun. Miria allows the use and repair of only existing machines, and keeps the study of machines from leading to potentially destructive ends. That looks like the way I've just come from. Oh, but it isn't. This is something new. Yeah, look at this, a lift. Let's go. Ray, Nina, Momo, Guardian Gar, and Ryu. Peko is here too! My brave, strong children, who have crossed the violent ocean and the burning desert. I am Miria. O great and mighty goddess, we have journeyed far seeking you, that we might know the truth. O goddess, tell us, why did the brood have to be destroyed? Is there anyone who wishes the destruction of life. I certainly do not. However, the power of the brood was too great. Too great for my small, small world. As you know, this side of the world is almost entirely buried by sand, making it almost impossible for anything to survive. Life has been driven nearly to extinction. I have to preserve what little is left. I had to save the rest of the world from the danger called the brood. So, what you're saying is, we should just sit back and let you take care of us? Like we were your babies or something, right? Exactly, Ray. If I did not hold back, using the outer sea as a shield, the desert would slowly, inevitably spread across the entire world. If I did not continue to create the machines that are repaired and used worldwide, civilization as we know it would surely perish. Rickstress, welcome on in! How you doing? Oh, did I link you to that with that song I was talking about earlier? Isn't it a beautiful song? But while we don't have the means now, someday we might be able to build our own machines. If the world were covered by sand, your lives would be consumed with the struggle to survive. You would not be able to build anything. Even if you succeeded in creating the machines you needed, can you say with certainty that you would not also build a weapon with which you might also destroy yourselves, Momo? In the past, this world was large. Larger than you can imagine. Many people once lived here in Kayajan. But the people fought and quarreled. And the city was swallowed by the desert. Oh, Cloudy One, look at that little emote! I like it. I was unable to protect them. I will not make the same mistake again. I will protect you and all the life that is left. I understand what you're trying to say. We are weak, and maybe we do need help and protection. And the power of the brood may be similar to the power that destroyed this city so long ago. But what are you saying we should do? Are you saying that Ryu must die? Or that he has to spend the rest of his life locked up in some little room? In an artificial world? Like Teepo? How did Teepo get over here anyway? No kidding. I don't like the fact that this is all being controlled by you. That you're pulling all the strings. I'm just like a little kid, see? If you tell me to sit still, it just makes me want to run around more, yeah? If you tell me to beat nothing, I want to beat all. Oh, goddess. We have no desire to give Ryu up to you. Nor do we wish to see him killed. God, dude. Having traveled with him, I can say that I do not believe that the power of the brood is as fearsome and dangerous as you claim it to be. I'm shocked that nearly the entire world is covered by sand, but with our power working together, then maybe, just maybe, line! Enough, my children. I admire your bravery and courage, Ray. There is no need to worry. I will erase your memories of this place and simply return you to where you belong, Momo. My strength is admittedly small, but it is all you have to live with. Do you understand, Nina? Thank you for bringing Ryu here. Guardian Gar, your mission is now complete. What about me, Maria? You didn't call my name. Don't you know who I am? You're Yggdrasil. You won't be able to get away with this. Not while I'm around. Actually, you say that. Let's see if I can do away with this. All I'm doing is leading my children by the hand. Giving them a world they can live in. Miria, these so-called children crossed the entire world to get here and overcame the myriad barriers that you set before them. All for the sake of helping their friend. Ryu, find his destiny. Don't mind me, I'm just scrolling. I'm scrolling real quick. Give me a second. Ryu? Oh, thank goodness it's a PNG. Good. Good. Cloudy one, come on now, you just got here. Let's be friends. I don't want to do that again. Very well. We will let Ryu decide. What do you want to do? If you give up your power, the world will continue to live under my protection, as it has until now. Your power, which has brought you here, is too big for the world. Like the other brood once did. Accept your fate. My Ryu. Tempest, if it didn't take me 25 minutes to get here, I would absolutely do that. I did it in Breath of Fire 4. That's one of the reasons it took as long as it did. Because I'm like, yeah, you know what? This Emperor bad guy really does make a good point now, doesn't he? I'm going to side with him. And then I have to fight my way back to him to get the good ending. Miria waits with her eyes closed for Ryu's decision. But Ryu cannot make up his mind. Not without asking his friends first. To tell the truth, I'm really frightened. We're not strong at all. If you go against fate, something awful might happen to the world. But I've always believed you weren't a bad dragon. I'll always believe that, no matter what happens. You have to believe in yourself, and those who believe in you. I only know how to fix machines, you know. But we can dig up those machines, even if they're buried under a desert, and learn from them. Even if the world is covered in sand, we'd still be able to do something. As long as we don't give up, right? I brought you here simply because I wanted to know the truth about my own actions. It may have been a selfish reason, but I've learned one thing from all this. Now, more than Miria, I trust you, Rio. I'll trust you. It's because of all that nonsense she's going on about that Teepo ended up the way he did. She messed with my brother. That's the one thing I can't forgive. A decision on which the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Give up the power of the brood and live in a peaceful world, watched over by the goddess, or believe in the power of the brood and travel into the empty desert where unknown dangers await. Ryu decides to... I'm going to say that's the bad choice. I mean, neither of these are particularly good choices. But I'm gonna kill God with the power of friendship! Ryu realized he couldn't give up his power. Of course, he thought of his people, and his destiny, and Teepo. But more importantly, he felt that if he gave up his power, he would no longer be himself. Do you realize what it is that you are trying to do? Do you? By making me your enemy. You realize you are making the whole world your enemy, don't you? I have faith that the brood are not so foolish. Come, lower your weapon. You realized it was foolish to challenge a god, but he held his ground. My poor Ryu. Your great power has driven you mad. What of those who do not have such power, like the brood? They cannot live without my protection. By not giving up your power, you threaten their very existence. Just as I always believed. The brood truly are a danger, a threat to the world. Not true, Miria. It just means that life is no longer content to live in the little cage you have made for it. Yggdrasil, no matter what you say, I will protect this world. For the sake of all life on it. Miria, life in your world has been protected from the desert. And death, but that's not the same as living. Ryu, son of the accursed brood. The time for talk has ended. If you will not change your mind, it grieves me to harm you, but I have no choice. For the good of the world, you must die. Choose 3 party members to fight against the goddess. Well, I think it's going to be... Oh, they want Ray on my team? Guess who didn't get grinding sessions, yeah? That would be Ray and Pickle. Can I go in attack form? Hell yeah, attack form. Ryu, Momo, Ga, let's go. It pains me. It grieves me, my children, that I must take up arms against you. Against the very life I have sworn to protect. But you must understand, Ryo. I can't let you, your power, roam free in the world. To protect the lives of my other children, I must become unto a fury. Empirical Woodlands, you know it! Farewell, my children. Incidentally, I talk a lot about kill God with the power of friendship, because that's how JRPGs always end. Breath of Fire 4, I mentioned kill friendship with the power of God, and I thought it was worth the heel turn. Well, hi. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what I normally do. Good luck, says Tempest. Thank you very much. Let's see how I do, yeah? Momo can use Celerity, and God can just hit him. Hit him as hard as you can. Do well with your 8 AP, God. Get him! Should have cast that on Ryu. Oops. Ah! Well then. What do I want you to do? What do I want you to do? Do you know what? Might. Cast Might on Ryu. And then do that again. I thought Celerity was like everyone, like in the 4th game. Oops. I guess Momo's just super cool for the rest of this fight now. Don't worry about it. That's the best I ever did with that! That's fine. That's fine. How could you miss? He was right in front of you! Oh, what a good movie. So what I've done for this fight is I have given... Oh, what a wasted turn! I like that little laugh she did at the end. That was cool. So what I've done, I've given all my characters armor and accessories that absorb an element of some kind. So... Because the game's only got, like, the 4 major elements and holy. How much damage do you do just, like, with a regular attack? Yeah, okay, keep doing them combos. That's way better. That attack is gross. Stop doing that. I don't like it. Oh, incidentally, we fought that giant chicken boss in the previous stream. I remembered where that's from. That's right from the start of the game when you break into McNeil Mansion. And you have to, I think you have to steal an egg or something like that. But yeah, the giant chickens are from that. Which is it? Vitalize? Vitalize will do. I'm like, look at this. Gar's got nothing. Why do you even have that? You can't cast that. Critical damage if the enemy is hit. Let's see how we do. I don't have a good look stat, but you know what? Let's go. Oh, this combo is awful. I feel like I didn't do a very good job with that. So my line of thinking as well. Yeah, you want to try that again? It didn't work. So wait a second, Tempest, am I reading that right? Does... The fact that he was apprenticed to Bunyan, does that just cap his maximum AP, like, for the game? AP, where AP? Restore AP, yeah. Yeah. Right, Rixtrus? Please stop doing that, Miria. It's not nice. Well, I know that when you apprentice to somebody, then some stats go up more slowly than others, or not at all. But, like, surely at some point Gar is going to get... He's level 73! You'd think he'd have more than 9 mana at this point. Delicious fire! I'll hurt its arms. Wrong button. And to be fair, Tempest, very knowledgeable about this game. Most of the things that I know, like, in passing about this game have come from Tempest going, here's something cool you can do. Like, you can get a free weapon right at the start of the game if you examine that one guy. It's called, like, the Melted Sword. And it's not great, but it's better than what you're going to have access to at any other point in the early... Oh, she paused! Every time she pauses, I'm like, did I do it? Probably not, right? It's a final boss. I spent longer than this fight getting to her here. I'm sorry, did I miss a character, Tempest? Oh, Delonzo! Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I thought it was like that one shady fellow in Breath of Fire 4, who's like, you need to have a whole bunch of items in your inventory before I will teach you how to steal things. Do you know what? This is fine. I'm just going to keep topping up Ryu's mana so we can keep doing super combos. Super combo is a great move. I mean, I can't say as I'm surprised. I would have opened with that. I'll be entirely honest with you, Miria. Her health bar's gone! It's Seymour Flux all over again! Alright, phase 2. Let's go! Unless... Well, Tempest, I suppose there was that one guy who's like, you must be a fisherman level whatever in order to talk to me, and I should have spoken to that guy. I don't know what he does. I love fishing in this game. It's over. No. For you, it's just the beginning. It was a long, hard journey. But we did the right thing. Didn't we, Ryu? Gar? As a guardian, my life must end here with the goddesses. Time to die. Go. From now on, you must walk on your own. My only regret is that it wasn't me who did that. Technically I did, because Ryu landed the killing blow on Miria. I got my revenge! My world. I tried, but it wasn't enough. I fear the world will be destroyed again. What should I have done? What could I have done? If there is a god, answer me! What should I have done with the brood? Sister? It's for the best, Miria. You've protected this world until now. So there was I only saw one weird dragon form, and it was like a giant frog, I think. Like when I went to fight it was the fight against Gar. Actually, I transformed into this big toad-looking thing. Otherwise, it is a couple of like standard red dragon sprites that I've seen, or like the Kaiser Dragon, which is Ryu, but Super Saiyan. You went too far in your attempt to wipe out the brood. Oh yeah, warrior. That's like the tall, slender-looking one with a big whip tail, isn't it? In the end, that was something your children had to overcome to go beyond. In order to walk on their own. Don't worry. They can take care of themselves better than you think. To be fair, Cloudy, yes, I am overleveled. But it took 2 hours to beat Kaiser Dragon in Breath of Fire 4, okay? I was prepared for one of those. They, and the world, are stronger than we think. I'm sure of it. It's one of the criticisms that I have with, admittedly, 2 of, I believe, 6 games that I have played. But, like, the boss fights in the Breath of Fire series that I have experienced, they kind of go on a bit. And maybe that is me not being sufficiently leveled, because I've streamed 2 of them. And, like, I'm not going to be grinding on stream. Nobody really wants to see that. At least for me. But... oh, look at the close-up graphics! Is this going to get claimed? Does this have a pop song in the credits? I feel like that was not the outfit she was wearing for the most part in this game, right? She had leggings on? Because I commented she looked like something out of Phantasy Star, and... and not an unfair description, I don't think. She looked a little like Alice. So, Cloudy One, that's generally how you do games. You make this... oh, there it is! Muting that! That's gonna be claimed. Probably. How are we doing, everybody? That was Breath of Fire 3. That was a good game. I have... because Tempest mentioned it, how big is this file? 320 by 240? That's not gonna go too over anything. So yeah, if you happen to use a no-clip cheat or a walkthrough walls cheat, you can like wander around on the world map, and like this is what you see next to the Lost Shore, for example. And there's a couple of other areas on TCRF that shows stuff like this. And yeah, if you go where you're not supposed to be, oh, it's the holodeck. And you know what? I approve of that. That's pretty cool. But I'm with you. I would like to be able to see the entire world. What can I play in the meantime? Hang on. Yeah, you know what? That's down there. This is probably going to loop a time or two before we get to the end. But at least it's some music, isn't it? And it's going to feel like ending music now. So yeah, Tempest was asking me about this game yesterday and how do I feel it compares to Breath of Fire 4. And I feel like that is an unfair question. Because Breath of Fire 4 was my entry point to this series, and also is one of my favorite RPGs. Genuinely. I love that game and so many things that it does. And this game feels like that, but, like, not as good. Well, no, she did Inferno. I ate the fire. Because my characters have got someone's got a sun mask, someone has the, well, he has the dragon armor. Wow. And yeah. But yeah, it feels a little unfair to say that, you know, how does this game work? Because it's a good game. It's a very good game. It's just not really fair to compare it to something I feel to be way better in every way. Are you gonna say me? Oh, this is like... this is people who actually worked on the game. I will agree with you on that one, Tempest. I feel like the dragon forms are better in this game. Because in Breath of Fire 4, it is all... it's essentially one sprite. You get summons. You absolutely get summons. But at the same time, it's not as cool as this one, where you get the different forms and the different shapes, and maybe you get, like we were saying, the big toad-looking one, or... like, you mentioned fusion dragons. I didn't even look at that. Also, is that also going to be a Dragon Ball reference? Because he does the little Kamehameha pose, and his hair goes all Super Saiyan looking. Fusion dance, right? That's a thing. Ooh, was that good timing? That may have been some good timing. Fade you out. Turn you on. Oh no, this music also sounds like the end of a J-pop song. Well, so here's the thing, Claudio. I have been streaming this blind. This is my first playthrough. And I will absolutely guarantee that I have missed most things. Oh no, we soft locked? Well, let's just look at this. I engaged with mechanics, alright. I engaged with, stealing. I stole a couple of things. I found some of the masters. I showed you the fairy mansion that I built, that I told my guys to build, and then they built it for me. That's the important part. Thank you for playing Breath of Fire 3. Breath of Fire 3? You can save your game here. And try to fight the goddess again. Do you want to save? Sure. What I think I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to pop you down here. Because when it says try to beat the goddess again, is that going to throw me at the start of the game? Or is that going to throw me, like, slightly earlier on in the plot? Because I'm not even an hour into this. I've got another 2 hours to go. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna go show you the bad ending. And why not? It will feel... Talking to an NPC somewhere will give you an item which gives infinite skill ink. It puts you back on the world map. The only plot-related thing to do is to confront Miria. Well... I mean, since I'm already... Well, let's load it. Like, at the very least, let's load it and see what happens and what the game does. We can always reset and load the other one. Yeah, that's just on the world map. Alright, cool. Cloudy One, Tempest didn't, like, direct me towards those. But he pointed out that, yeah, you're gonna want to watch yourself in that shipping yard, because, oof. Oof. Anything other than a tank bot shows up, you had best be prepared. I didn't see them, because I still don't think I'm going to be good enough to take them. Like, if it's anything like the Demonic Rider from 4, there is essentially a specific sequence to fighting the Demonic Rider from 4. And, yeah, nah. Nah. No, we're not doing that. I mean, we can try it. I have time, and then I was gonna go to my B game, which is actually my Monday game, because I really like Pheromonium, and I'd like to play some more of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. The shoulder buttons that I have seen are, there's escape and charge. Admittedly, I haven't used L2 or R2. Maybe? I like that you've got a little honey one as well. Like, one of my favorite kinds of emotes is when people are like, hey, here's that thing from that game. Don't get me wrong, I like all of my little pangs. They are good pangs. But, yeah, stuff from games is adorable. Alright, give me another fight. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. L2 and R2 are confirm buttons. L1 is charge. R1 is run away. I have seen an option to change equipment. I know you can do it, but I also don't know how. Presumably that would be something in the manual that my copy of the game does not have. It's just the disc. Wait a second. Breath of Fire 4 opens with Ryu in a crater in the middle of the desert. And I don't believe it is ever explained how he gets there. Do I want to try this? I've killed plenty of these guys. Criddle, thank you very much for your subscription. Thank you very much for being here. I know that work is very busy and you're not allowed to have fun lately, so like, yeah, come hang out with us. We're fun. Actually, Tempest and Cloudy, since you're here, first of all, cool, matching names. But like, do I have to steal the apple to have a chance of getting the special item from those guys? Because I've killed about a half dozen, 6 to 8 Goo Kings, and I appreciate rare drops are rare drops, but all I ever got for them was apples. So is it like, steal the apple, power it up, and that's how you get the SWAT? See, in my mind, it's like, you steal the apple, so now they can't drop it on defeat. They just... away they go. Yeah, 1-256 chance. Alright. I figured it would be like a random drop, you know? Tempest mentioned this in the previous stream. Like, there is one sword that is better than the sword that you have. Do you want to know how to get it? Because it's an absolute chore. Like, chore was the word that he used for that. But, like, okay. Maybe I don't want to do chores. Well, Criddle, you're here with us. We can hang out. You can have a chat with us, listen to my voice, and watch me get the bad ending to this game. And then I go play Firmonium. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can do with this game, because I'm not playing on an emulator. I've actually got my PS1 plugged in down there. And that is, like... because it's all just hex values. You just need to find what the hex value of the thing is and what you want it to be, and then you just poke it. So, like, let's say the game is storing Ryu's weapon, you know, he's got OA equipped. Well, you just poke it. And now he has weapon 2C equipped. And, that's much better. A second control is achieved through the energy of a Chrism ore. I missed this one before, so we're going to get a bit more lore. Chrism ore is the fossilized remains of living beings. Transmuted by the blessed power of the divine Miria. You see, Chrism ore is no more than one of the ways Miria provides the world with her magical energy. You need to win the game that needs you to win on the first turn, which would ask you to save and load state. Or presumably save and load, because I do have a save point in the fairy village. It's just... Actually, I'll tell you why you'd want to use that, because that would probably be an inn as opposed to a rest, so if you've got a hit point penalty, the fairies will get rid of it. Fancy that. So yeah, pardon me a moment while I'm just going to button through this, because this bit we've seen. I'm just going to pick the bad option this time. I wonder if Miria doesn't mention Peko/Yggdrasil because, like, she didn't create it, so she can't, like, see it, essentially. I mean, it is just a thought, because I don't fully know the reasons behind it. It would... Because he's right there. Like, it's not like she can't, or a person couldn't physically see him there behind Gar, or anything. But, yeah. It would be interesting to to see the rest of the world, like Cloudy had mentioned, and but that's just me in general. I like going essentially out of bounds in RPGs. Like, what else is there out there in the world? Show me these things. And I think that's one of the reasons I enjoyed Phantasy Star 2. To the extent that I enjoyed it. Because, hey, do you want to go outside of this biodome and into another one? Do you want to do it 12 times? And it's cool every time? Like, yes. Do all of those things. Phantasy Star 4 is a good one. That's the one I keep bringing up that has the clever failsafe if you break out of jail. And the game's like, yeah, very clever. Now reset and play the game properly, thanks. But that one also has a, in Empirical stream yesterday, we were talking a little bit about... Is that 3? Yeah, the escape pipe and the king, that's the one. There was one of the Phantasy Star games, which is Generations of Doom, and we were talking a little bit about this in Empirical stream yesterday with The anime, not Probotector, that was what they called Contra. Robotech! The anime Robotech was two separate anime series slapped together. The localization team just went, there was a time skip in the middle, these are everyone's children. And Generations of Doom is like a pretty cool way of doing that in an RPG. Just not quite. My main issue with the Phantasy Star series, in my experience, is that it is incredibly difficult. Like, it's really hard to get levels, and it does cascade failure really, really well. Like, if one of your characters takes a critical wound, then the entire house of cards falls down, especially if they die, because now you have to get out and get home minus a party member in the dungeon that killed you. Like, oh, no, thank you very much. I mentioned this actually too. Is one of the first games that gave me like existential dread, because the characters straight up die in Phantasy Star 2, and you take their body to the clone clown who grows you another one, and it's not like, you know, Phoenix down and your character comes back, or Revivify and your character stands up again. No, Rolf is dead. Don't do it again. Hell of a soundtrack though. Like, the drum machine that they use in Phantasy Star 2 is nice and crunchy, and like, I enjoy. Yeah. So, I mentioned Garn not having any AP. I figured that was just part of his build. Like, he hasn't learned any skills this entire game, except for, like, what I have given him. I think he is just here to be a tank. Lots of hit points, lots of damage output. That's about it. Compared to Nina, who has a pretty varied toolkit, but magic has been nerfed pretty heavily in Breath of Fire 3. And Ryu, who mostly has healing magic. Which is an interesting way of doing it. I'll grant you that. As for Empirical Woodland's comment right there, the next Breath of Fire game that I play when I get around to playing it is going to be Part 1. Because Part 1 and Part 2 are essentially like disc 1 and disc 2 of the same game, from what I've been told. 2 picks up exactly where 1 finishes, so let's do it that way. I can see where there would be links between the different worlds, and I don't... It's an interesting thought that maybe all of these games exist in the same world, kind of like Hyrule, in theory. Because in Breath of Fire 4, they don't have an ocean. They can't move around because of mud rather than water. And when they get to the ocean, they don't know how to navigate it. And they can't navigate it when they try because it's not mud, which is what they're used to. And that would make sense given that, you know, the majority of the world here is now desert and sand. What is mud if not wet sand? That's philosophy is what that is. Ashley, how's it going? I'm doing alright. Work was kind of there, but I'm here and I'm streaming, which I enjoy very much. And we finished the game. And wait, this follows on from 1 and 2? I knew that mural was from 1 and 2. The big snake skirt demon, that's the final boss. Alright, here we go. Let's get the bad ending, and then we'll go to my B game. See, that's what I thought, Tempest. I thought it was, one of the earlier games, because I noticed Ox was there. And the purple one. You know, the purple one. And yeah, like the final boss, which is an array of snakes. And then Tempest, not Tempest, your Tempest, Empirical Woodland over there was like, but you'll never know. Not in that voice. But, you know, he thought it. Why is everyone spinning? I'm not complaining because I like a good spin, but everyone is spinning. I do have a B game, not a B game, my next game in mind. It's not Breath of Fire. My next long game is going to be something else. Who is this doing a spin? Oh, it looks like this Avatar character who's a duck. Oh, GDQ. Friend of mine does work for them. See, I have 2. I have this one, I have a spinning one, and a slightly separate and smoother rotating one. Okay. So, you know, in the other timeline, we kept our powers. In this one, we won't. Carrying the fate of the world was too much for Ryu. If giving up the power of the brood will allow the world to stay the same, then that's best choice. You have made the right choice. Ryu, that is true strength. Giving up your horrible power to protect the world. I'm proud of you, Ryu. Let us go, my Ryu. Ryu chose of his own free will to give up the power of the brood and stay with the goddess Miria. And so time passes. Unchanging. I figured it would be something like that. Like, it... So, Cloudy, sorry, spoilers, because it's one of my favorite games in the world. Breath of Fire 4 has a very similar thing. It's like, hey, which ending do you want? The good ending? Or the bad ending? And the bad ending essentially feels like a non-standard game over, which is what this is. Like, that's not an end. Despite what it says right there, that's not an ending. I am much happier having done the actual ending where, hey, you know what? We did a good job. We saved the world. Kinda. We made things better. Probably. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Yeah, that was Breath of Fire 3. Good ending and bad ending. Really glad that I did it. Genuinely recommend this game. It's a lot of fun. The plot was a bit up in the air for a lot of it, I've got to be honest. But otherwise, it was good. But, like, I would still recommend 4 over 3. I'm still going to keep streaming for like an hour and a half. But this video that you're watching all chopped up on YouTube, that's going to end. So thank you for watching Breath of Fire 3. Extras is correct because I got my revenge on Gar, as was planned the whole time. And until next time, goodbye. I never know how long to wait to, like, clip the end of the video. It's fine.